Made with the finest ingredients, featuring pasta, hoagies, pizza, salads, gelato, cocktails, espresso, and a retail shop featuring DeLallo brand favorites. Manja featuring DeLallo, opening April 9th at Live Casino, Route 30 at Westmoreland Mall. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your local station, WMBS.
Good morning, and welcome to another Saturday edition of the Sportsline, being brought to you this morning by my good buddy Tom Vernon and KC Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management, serving lunches and dinners Monday through Saturday. Come on out, enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko with you on an overcast Saturday morning. I hope you'll join me for some good sports talk today, two-way sports talk, the lifeblood of any sports talk show. Love to hear from you on a variety of subjects. Telephone number if you would like to get involved. Simply pick up the phone and dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. That number again, 724-438-4593. And we've got one line open, so do come ahead with your questions and your comments. I've got a guest in hour number 2. The NFL draft is just around the corner. We're closing in on it fast. April 23rd through the 25th in Pittsburgh, the NFL draft. And my good friend Bill Werndell out of the Philadelphia area, formerly one of the co-founders of Our Lad's Guide to the NFL draft, one of the first publications of that kind back in the day. Bill Werndell will join me for some NFL draft talk and free agency talk at 11:30 in hour number 2. And up until that point, it's you and me, two-way sports talk. And that number again, if you'd like to join the conversation, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. All right, let's get to the scoreboard. And in the National Hockey League, in overtime, Carolina Hurricanes over the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-3. Washington downs New Jersey 2-1. Colorado over the Chicago Blackhawks 4-1. Calgary 4, Florida 1, and Anaheim beats Utah 4-1. In the National Basketball Association, Detroit Pistons 115, Golden State Warriors 101. New York Knicks down Brooklyn 93-92. Houston Rockets over the Atlanta Hawks 117-95. Boston Celtics take Memphis 117-112. Portland over Minnesota 108-104. And the Denver Nuggets beat Toronto 121-115. In Grapefruit League baseball, the Pirates lost yesterday to the Atlanta Braves 8-1 in Grapefruit League play. Turning our attention to top 25 college basketball with the NCAA tournament underway. In action yesterday, all the favorites won yesterday, by the way. All 16 favorites won. So we're not having as much March Madness as you would think. Number 2, Arizona, blasted Long Island University 92-58. How about 4th-rated Florida? 114, Prairie View A&M 55. Number 6, Iowa State downs Tennessee State 108-74. 7th-rated UConn beats Furman 82-71. Number 8, Purdue over Queens College 104-71. 9th-rated Virginia 82, Wright State 73. 10th rated St. John's over Northern Iowa, 79-53. Number 17, Kansas beats Cal Baptist, 68-60. 18th rated Alabama over Hofstra, 90-70. Number 20, Texas Tech, 90. Akron, 71. The 23rd rated Tennessee Volunteers beat Miami of Ohio, ending the Cinderella story for the Red Hawks, 78-56. And number 25, Miami of Florida beats Missouri, 80-66. So that is a look at the scoreboard. Turning our attention to sports obituaries, a boxing great has left us. And we learned that, let me get it straight here. We learned that marvelous Marvin Hagler has passed away. Hagler passed away on March 13th at age 66. He won one of boxing's greatest prizes and then walked away. One of the great fights of all time against Thomas Hearns, also fought everybody in the division. He died at the age of 66. His boxing death announced on Facebook to the fans. Hagler fought on boxing's biggest stages, its biggest names, as he, Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hitman Hearns, Roberto Duran dominated the middleweight classes during the golden time for boxing in the 1980s. Quiet with a brooding public persona, Hagler fought 67 times over 14 years as a pro out of Brockton, Massachusetts, finishing 62-3-2 with 52 knockouts. He was unmistakable in the ring, fighting out of a southpaw stance with his bald head glistening in the lights. He was relentless. He was vicious, stopping opponent after opponent during an 8-year run that began with a disputed draw against Vito Antifermo in 1979 that he later avenged. Hagler fought with a proverbial chip on his shoulder, convinced that boxing fans and promoters alike didn't give him his proper due. He was so upset that he wasn't introduced before a 1982 fight by his nickname of Marvelous that he went to court to legally change his name. Hagler, as I said, 62-3-2, 52 knockouts from 73 to 87. Undisputed middleweight champion from 1980 to 1987. And that fight against Thomas Hearns that lasted 8 minutes is yet so epic that it lives in boxing lore. What a jam-packed 8 minutes it was. Marvelous Marvin Hagler passing away at the age of 66. All right, we're going to get a break in, and then when I come back, we will open up the phone lines for Open Line Sports Talk, your chance to get up on the soapbox and be heard. Simply pick up your phone, dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. 724-438-4593 is the number. I've got one line open, so do come ahead with your questions and comments. We'll be back right after this.
It's spring, the season for prom, weddings, and the spring sale at Pat's Bridal Salon in Connellsville with bridal gowns at just $99. Assorted prom gowns are $99 and up, and discontinued groups of bridesmaids gowns just $59. Is there a special occasion in your future? Pat has racks of gowns in assorted styles and colors, ranging from size 4 and up. So hurry in for the best selection. Shop Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday until 2. Pat's Bridal Boutique, West Crawford Avenue in Connellsville.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
Hi, come on in. How are you?
for personal, professional health care you can trust, see Dr. Paul Hardley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris, proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org. Or
Serving number 3,944.
For 35 years, Fay Penn Economic Development Council has been committed to its mission of growing Fayette County's economy and helping to bring jobs to the area. Whether you're a startup, existing, or new business in Fayette County, Fay Penn's lending team can work with you to decide if the Fay Penn Loan Fund suits your business's needs. Fay Penn's Loan Fund offers loans starting at $10,000, pending qualifications. Visit faypenn.org to learn more about financing opportunities for your business and to complete a pre-application form.
there are over $5.8 million in $100 prizes in the new $100 blowout scratch-off game from the Pennsylvania Lottery. And we at WMBS want to give you a chance to get your hands on some of it. Now, through April 20th, just be the sixth caller to 724-438-4593 when you hear. And you'll win 6 of those $5 tickets. What would you do with an extra $100 today? Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Hi everyone, this is Kelly Clark with Autoland Hyundai in downtown Uniontown. 724-208-5281. What makes buying your next vehicle for me worthwhile? I make it a very easy 5-step process. You look, you shop, you ask, you decide. And I listen. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai, 724-208-5281. 724-208-5281. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai. I'll make you a good deal.
If you're an athlete, you know the importance of a strong recovery. NovaCare provides several athletic training programs geared toward athletic-related injuries and collaborates with Albert Gallatin, Uniontown, Fraser, California, Jefferson Morgan, Waynesburg, West Green, and Mapletown school districts to help student athletes stay at their best. From coordinating additional specialist care to treating on-site injuries, their experts cater to your personal needs. Specialized services include concussion diagnosis and rehabilitation and treatment for sport-specific injuries. For more information on athletic training at NovaCare, visit novacare.com or contact your local office today.
Hi, this is TJ Watt, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS Radio.
And welcome back to the Sportsline on this Saturday morning. We're going to go to the phone lines now, and would love to hear from you. One line open if you want to jump into the conversation. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is on the docket. Simply pick up your phone, call the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593, 724-438-4593. That's the number to call. Let's take our first phone call of the morning. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George.
Good morning, Charles.
Yes, next Thursday's the big day.
Well, they open against the Metsies.
Yes, and
Those pesky Metsies.
yes, I know a club that I do not particularly like, but that's beside the point. I still say, as I've said before, this year is the most important in 138-year history of our franchise.
Well, what is your thinking about what they can do?
Am I hopeful? Yes. Am I confident? No, because I'm still living in St. Louis. They're going to have to show me. Do note, the only thing I'm anyways confident about is that I think Skeens is going to pitch well most of the year. But they're going to have, do they have any history of doing well with our franchise? No, they don't. It's going to be, I was thinking this, George. It's going to be something like changing sports, but like Joe Paterno said before the Steelers' 1972 season, when he said he promises that Franco Harris would not be another Bob Ferguson. He was right. Well, with the Pirates, there almost has to be a promise, almost to a guarantee, that some of the incumbents are going to have to do a lot better, and that the newcomers, they're going to have to bring their success with them. They can't leave their success with other ball clubs. They've got to do it for us. That's the only thing that matters.
Well, I think they're going to be improved offensively. I have said continuously on the show that I am concerned about their defense. I think they got a shot at being one of the worst defensive teams in baseball, and that's not a good thing when you got pitching.
George, I agree. I told you that before, up the middle. I'm so suspect. I'm also, like you've said before, I don't know how much you're going to get out of third base.
Well, and two guys that certainly have to improve, and I'm not putting the onus all on them, but they are veterans, and they need to do better than they did last year, because last year both were below the line, and that's Cruz and Reynolds. And you just Reynolds, I expect to bounce back a little bit. I have always liked Brian Reynolds. I don't know what to expect from O'Neal Cruz.
No, it depends on what kind of stuff O'Neal Cruz has in that mask above his shoulders. If he's got his head on straight, we might have a chance. But if he's going to do the same crap he's done for the last 2 or 3 years, forget it.
And I guess there are a lot of people still hanging on that Griffin is going to be the starting shortstop because they haven't done anything yet. But I still firmly believe that they're going to send him down. It's just me, maybe, but that's what I believe. You know?
Can I take it one step further?
Yeah.
I hope they send him down, because I believe the same thing that Coach Holliday does. He's just not ready for the regular season in Major League Baseball.
Well, he has showed flashes, but still, what's his batting average? His batting average is in the 200s. You know.
Yeah, we got another one of those. I mean, O'Neal Cruz can give you 15 home runs and 175 strikeouts. What good's that going to do?
Right.
But I tell you this, George, this is the most important year in the history of the franchise, because if the Pirates do not do well this year, do not at least have a winning record, and maybe make the playoffs or win the division, they're going to be as relevant as snowmobiles in the state of Florida. Who's going to care?
Well, there's a lot of question marks that I'm still looking at as the season begins, and we'll find out as it unfolds. We will find out.
That's what I said. My hope is at 100%. My confidence is near zero. Show me. It's just, as I said before, when I see the number under the W markedly larger than the number under the L, I'll believe it, and not until.
Well, I know you're caught up and waiting with bated breath for the start of the baseball season, but are you caught up in watching some basketball?
Well, George, I've had trouble with it because you know what happens to me this time of the year.
Taxes.
Yes, I mean, I'm trying.
That's still one of the all-time great stories when I was a little kid. Did I ever tell that story to you? I was riding with my parents in a car in the Buick, the old Buick. My older sister in the back seat with me. She was 9 years older than I was, and I had to be maybe about 7 or 8. And my dad asked me, he says, "You look worried. What are you worried about?" He says, "Well, I said, "I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I'm really worried looking ahead." He said, "What are you worried about? You're 7 or 8 years old. What are you worried?" He said, I told him I was worried about taxes. they all busted out laughing.
That's good, George. That's good. That's good. No, George, I'm having March Madness on while I'm working, but understandably I can't sit there and watch it, you know. But I did hear that somebody from Kentucky made a fantastic shot.
They did, and unfortunately, there's a little bit of controversy surrounding the end of that ball game, and it involved a Pittsburgh guy,
Herb Sendek,
Herb Sendek, who was coaching Santa Clara. Everybody was getting on Sendek about them not fouling when they were up 3, and the guy hitting that shot, the 3-point shot that tied it. Sendek revealed after the game that the clock did not start correctly on the inbounds, and he was trying to call timeout because he wanted to set his defense, and the official did not give him the timeout.
Oh, boy. Well, yeah, that's one of those things that's not going to be changed, George.
No, it won't be changed, but it explains some things, and I don't put all the onus on Sendek.
Yeah.
You know.
But to me, George, in the end, I don't think anybody's going to beat Duke.
Well, I tend to differ with you.
Who, Florida, Michigan, Arizona?
Well, I sort of like Arizona, although Duke, I think, and it's going to come up here. First of all, St. John's has to play Kansas in the next game. And I'm going to be watching Duke against Jamie Dixon and TCU. But in the following round, if St. John's wins, and they're going to have a collision in the following, and that's going to be a heck of a ball game.
St. John's and Duke.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a heck of a ball game. You know.
You think St. John's?
I really like St. John's. I really do.
So you think they'll take the Hawks, the Jayhawks?
I do. I think St. John's is playing really, really good basketball right now. I actually made out 2 brackets. And because there's a couple of teams that I just couldn't ignore, so I put them in the other made bracket. But the teams that I have really as my teams to make the Final Four, out of the East, it's either going to be Duke or St. John's.
Yeah.
Out of the South, it's either going to be Florida or Houston, and they're on a collision course.
Yeah.
Out of the West, probably Arizona, but a team that nobody is talking about, and I think they are playing as good a basketball as anybody in the tournament right now, Purdue.
Oh, Purdue, okay.
Purdue. And then in the Midwest, I'm looking at that entire bracket, and I don't see anybody beating Michigan. Yeah.
George, if Duke and St. John's play, where will they play?
I'm not quite sure where they go from here. I haven't looked that far ahead, and it doesn't have it listed on my bracket sheet.
Let me ask you this. In the East, do you think Michigan State will factor into this, or they don't have enough of it?
No, I don't like the way Michigan State is playing. And actually, they've got Louisville next, which could be an interesting game for them. And then they're going to run into either UConn or UCLA.
Yeah. But you're not big on UConn this year either.
No.
Okay. George, before I go on, I want to ask you this. Did they move the Spectrum Sports Arena from Philadelphia to Raleigh, North Carolina? Daggone, it seems for love nor money, the Penguins cannot win down there.
I was going to say, somebody had to do a heck of a moving job to move the entire arena.
Yeah. I mean, you remember the 15 years.
Oh, I certainly do. And I remember when they finally broke it with Battleship Kelly and Steve Durbano.
Yep. When it's a 5-3 win in the Spectrum Philadelphia. But, I mean, the Penguins can't win for love nor money. And And
Well, this is a big weekend for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They got Winnipeg, and then they've got Carolina again.
Well, they don't have a whole lot of success beating Carolina here.
Well, Carolina, I got to be honest with you, Carolina is pretty darn good. I like their team. I like the way their team is constructed. Yeah.
Was that franchise wasn't that good when they were in Hartford, were they?
They were better than people gave them credit for. The Hartford Whalers, when they
Was
had
that
Ronnie
how-
Francis and Alf Sampson and all those, the Whalers were good. And Ronnie, we pilfered one of the great players in our history from them when we got Ronnie Francis.
Well, Alfie Samuelson didn't do bad, you know.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
But I mean, was there a better two-way hockey player than Ronnie Francis?
Ronnie, you're going to laugh. I love Lemieux, and I love some of the other people on the team, Yager and Stevens and everybody. Ronnie Francis was my favorite player.
Yeah, because he played both ways. He was a throwback to your old hockey days, you know, the Howells and the Bellavos and, you know, all of them. Did he win, what is it, the Selke Award for the best defensive?
I'd have to look up his awards.
The Selke Award?
Yeah, I'd have to look up his awards. I don't know off the top of my head, but I just and I'm going to tell you another reason I liked him was you weren't going to find a better stand-up guy in the locker room when things were going bad or things weren't going well. Ronnie Francis was always the guy I sought out because he would give you great answers, thoughtful answers. You know.
Let's see. He's an executive with the Kraken now.
Yeah, he's their GM. Yes.
Okay, George, you know about the amazing thing is the Penguins are still hanging on to second place. Over what is it, the Blue Jackets and the Islanders?
Well, we got a real logjam coming down the stretch, especially when you factor in other teams that could be involved in the wild card, which, you know, it may come down to the very end of the season because you factor in the Atlantic Division too. We've got this lineup. The Penguins have 84 points. And in our own division, Columbus has 83. The Islanders have 83. The Flyers have 78, and the Caps have 78. In the other division, the Habs have 84. The Bruins have 84, and the Senators have 79. That is a bunch of teams.
Yeah. Well, of course I want to see the Penguins do as well as they can, but just as long as they finish ahead of the Islanders. Because the Island to me is like the Flyers to you. You don't like the Flyers, I don't like the Islanders. No, that's it's just. And if there's a tie, don't they do something about winning percentage or number of victories gets the tiebreaker?
Yes, they do, and I haven't really looked into it that deeply yet. But rest assured, before we get to that point, I will have a fellow by the name of Bob Grove on with me, and I think Bob will be able to explain everything to me. What do you think?
Yeah, he's pretty good. George, St. John's and Duke, I'd like to see that one.
Well, that's coming. Duke is playing TCU on the one side of the bracket, and directly opposite them, you have St. John's and Kansas.
Do you give the Frogs a chance against Duke?
I would like to say yes, and I love Jamie Dixon, but I think Duke got their scare already against Siena. They're going to be ready for TCU.
But you see St. John's having a better chance to beat Duke than TCU does?
Yes.
Okay.
And St. John's has got to worry about Kansas, although I haven't liked the way Kansas has been playing for over a month.
Isn't there a player playing for St. John's that played for Kansas last year?
Oh, no, well, that's 2 years ago. Ejiofor, 2 years ago. Yeah. Zuby Ejiofor, their center, who's one of the best players in the country.
Yeah, but speaking of best player, don't they think that Darren Peterson for Kansas is the best player? or is it still Cameron?
Well, Cameron Boozer, I think, is going to win Player of the Year hands down.
Okay. Well, thanks, George.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for the call. You take care. And that frees up both of our phone lines. Great time for you to jump into the Sports Talk right now in a bit of a lull. Pick up that phone, dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. 724-438-4593. You should have no problems getting through. Love to hear from you on a variety of subjects. We've talked Pirate baseball. We've talked the NCAA tournament, talked a little Penguins. Whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about it. And let's not forget the Steelers offseason, and a couple of moves they made this past week may affect their thinking in the draft, because they did make a couple of moves on the offensive line. Driscoll, who's a tackle, comes back to Pittsburgh. Ryan McCullum, a center and a guard, actually backup center, signed. And they did pull the trigger, I understand, on Hoffman, who played for Mike McCarthy down in Dallas. So that's another guard. So that may affect their thinking in the early rounds of the upcoming draft. Let's go back to the phone lines, take another call. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Hey, George.
Yes.
Hey, I got a question for you. I tuned in late. Did Ray Heist pass?
I did not hear anything about it.
Oh, okay.
I have not heard anything about it. That's the first time.
He was a wonderful guy.
Oh, I knew Ray very well. Yeah.
Yeah, he meant a lot. He meant a lot to, if it was him, he meant a lot to sports down here in Fraser.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know he was a big Fraser Commodore guy, but actually, I'm just hearing about this right now. And to be honest with you, I hadn't heard a word about it, so I'm going to have to do some checking.
Could you look into that for me?
Well, I can't do it right now when I'm on the air,
No,
but
I
will look into it. Yeah.
I got to tell you a story. I mean, he at a 1969 team.
Yeah,
he
basketball
took
team.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won a WPL. They didn't play any summer leagues. Ray took them around. Ray put them in his car, and he took them all over the place because he just enjoyed playing. He couldn't play very good, but he was good. He had a lot of fun. But he loved playing with them guys, and he took them everywhere.
Right. Well,
he was a big. Those guys will tell you that.
He was really a solid citizen and did a lot to help sports out in that area. And if it is true, I'm sad to hear about his passing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a buddy of mine called me. He sent me an obituary. I said, "Oh man."
Did you see the? Well, you saw an obituary, so obviously it happened.
Yeah. I mean,
well, I don't have to check then. You if you saw an obituary, it happened.
Yeah, I mean,
when did the obituary say he passed?
Oh, I think on the 15th or something like that, and he was laid out up at Kish. That's the Ray Heist. I mean, and the obituary read just like
Well, that had to be the guy. Did it say his connection with sports and everything in the obituary?
No, it didn't. That's what puzzled me. It didn't connect him with it. It just said about his family.
Yeah.
And he was. I just didn't want to overlook it.
Well, I have some listeners out in the Fraser area. If anybody's listening, if they can confirm, but if there was an obituary, I'm almost certain that's the case. If it's the right Ray Heist, and I don't know a lot of different Ray Heists around the area.
Yeah, he was. I just wanted to touch on him.
I'm glad you told me about it because I didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, George.
All right. Thank you for the call. You take care.
Bye.
Bye. And that frees up both of our phone lines. Again, if you would like to jump into the conversation, great time to do so. Got a wide open board. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. Pick up your phone. Dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. That number again, 724-438-4593. And as I mentioned, anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. Looking at the NCAA tournament, we had a couple of upsets on the first day But the favorites went 16-0 yesterday. And 13 of the 32 games played so far have been decided by 20-plus points. High Point really is the only true mid-major left. You could look at St. Louis and VCU out of the Atlantic 10, but High Point had a huge upset over Wisconsin. Somebody asked me why we don't have as many upsets, and I think you can point to name, image, likeness, the money being paid, and the transfer portal. It has changed things, and it may be affecting the fact that some of these teams, well, I think 13 of 32 games being decided by 20-plus points says an awful lot. It really does. Anyway, if you want to talk March Madness, we can get into that as well. Pirate baseball, Steelers off season, the upcoming draft. That reminds me, programming note, hour number 2, we will get into the NFL draft and free agency in depth with my good buddy from over in the Philadelphia area, former founder of one of the first books of its kind that used to cover the NFL draft, Our Lad's Guide to the NFL Draft, Bill Werndell. Bill Werndell will join me at 11:30 in hour number 2, and we'll cover free agency and the draft, which is coming up on April 23rd through the 25th in Pittsburgh. We're going to get a break in right now. I urge you, this is a good time for you to call in, join the conversation, call the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. 724-438-4593. Both lines are open right now. Do come ahead with your questions and comments.
Wind, hail, sudden leaks. When your roof takes a beating, we're here for you at AR Roofing and Remodeling. We're a locally and veteran-owned contractor available 24/7 for repairs. As an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we get the job done right. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
AR Roofing, never settle.
You may have noticed a new internet company knocking at your door with claims like, "I'm not here to sell you anything," or "I wouldn't lie to you." The truth is, Armstrong has played an important role in your community for decades, and we're not going anywhere. That new internet provider will probably change their name, get bought out by another company, or fold completely. Armstrong, the internet you count on, the people you trust. Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com today or anytime in the future.
Why move? Grow into the home you love and transform your space with First Federal of Greene County. They offer home equity loans, home equity lines of credit, and FHA Title I home improvement loans, all to keep your roots planted where you want to be. Visit a loan officer today or lock in your rate before the market heats up and apply online anytime at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729.
Get ready, there's a new Italian favorite at Live Casino. Introducing Mangia, featuring DeLallo, opening April 9th. Part market, part cafe, Mangia offers delicious, quick-served, authentic Italian cuisine made with the finest ingredients. Featuring pasta, hoagies, pizza, salads, gelato, cocktails, espresso, and a retail shop featuring DeLallo brand favorites. Mangia, featuring DeLallo, opening April 9th at Live Casino, Route 30 at Westmoreland Mall. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Chris Parker Jr., it's spring and everything's turning green.
Here at Autoland, our customers are saving green during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and 0% financing.
I'm listening.
Get 0% financing for up to 60 months on a new 2026 Santa Fe with standard third-row seating or up to $3,500 HMF bonus cash. The 2026 all-wheel drive Tucson also has 0% financing for up to 60 months or HMF lease cash up to $5,500. Just see us for details and ask about no payments due for 90 days.
Can you tell me more about your leasing specials?
We have great lease event specials going on now, such as a 26 Kona SE crossover for $219 per month and a 26 Elantra SE with amazing fuel economy for $199 per month. Just see us for details.
Plus, Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection, 5-year unlimited miles roadside assistance, Autoland Hyundai, 25 East Fayette Street, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website, AutolandHyundai.com.
And remember, you'll always pay less to drive the best at Autoland
Laurel
Hyundai.
Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Looking for a great place to eat in Uniontown? Stop by Casey's Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue and proudly owned by the Vernon family. Casey's is open Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday through Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come check out their new items and delicious entrees. And remember, Casey's can cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126.
Hi, this is Bob Walk, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on your local station, WMBS Uniontown.
And welcome back to the Sports Line on this Saturday morning. Moving down the home stretch here in hour number 1. Back to the phone lines we go. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm getting better. Thank you very much for asking. I enjoy your show. Love your calls, and you're very informative for a lot of things. I've been out of the limelight, so to speak, for sports since right around Thanksgiving because of some medical issues I was having in the hospital and all that crazy stuff. But I got one quick question for you, maybe a comment after that. I keep hearing about these tickets for the NFL draft. What are they referring to, tickets? Is that to get in, or how's that work?
Well, there are several events around the NFL draft. The NFL Experience is going on down there, and I think they're referring to that. There are several packages for some of the events surrounding the draft.
Okay, that makes sense then. Okay, I kept on hearing. I heard a couple times yesterday and today. I'm like, what are they talking about? Tickets is an open event, as far as I was told. So, okay, thank you. That helps to clear it up. What do you think about the Pirates this year, George? You think they're going to have a decent season this year?
I have question marks about them coming into the season. I love some of the things they did during the offseason. Don't think they went far enough. I'm not real happy starting Jared Triolo at third base to start the season. Triolo is not enough power to play a power position. Very good with the glove. I like him as a utility guy. I like him better at shortstop if they don't bring Connor Griffin up for the start of the season, and I don't think they're going to do that, which I think is the right thing. He's only had about 400 at-bats in the minor leagues. I think he needs to start the season at AAA and then bring him up later. Pitching is going to be okay. I like their starting pitching. I'd like a little bit more help in the bullpen, and I have a couple of question marks there. The other areas, they did get some bats, which is going to help the offense. One of the things, though, is I look at the guys that they acquired, and yes, they can hit a little bit, but they are a little suspect when they have to play certain areas of the field. They're going to have to use O'Hearn in the outfield. I think he's better at first base, but they got people at first base. I think that based on that, they could have a rough time defensively, and that's not a good thing when you rely on your pitching staff if you're not a good defensive team. So I have some questions,
Yeah, so do I. And my main question is, how good is a bullpen going to be? Because it's every year it seems like it's suspect. It starts out okay, but then they mess around with it. And it just seems like it just gets worse and worse and worse as the season goes on. So But I think that my main concern is that two outfielder, left fielder and right fielder, they need. I think they need to switch those two around. But
you think they need to put Reynolds back in left field and move or Hearn to right?
I do believe so. I think Reynolds is a better. He covers the field better, I think, and he's. I just think he's more adapted to the field, and I think he'd be okay there, better there.
Well, you mentioned one guy that I'm going to be watching carefully, and I love Brian Reynolds. I have since he came up with the Pirates after that trade with the Giants, and I just really like the guy, but he had a bad year last year, and he'll be the first to tell you that. Those two guys in the outfield, Reynolds and O'Neill Cruz, need to have significant improvement if this club is going to improve. Yeah.
No doubt about it. They've got to get 90, 80 to 100, maybe 110 RBIs, and batting average got to be close to 280 to 300, or however RBIs they get. Their batting average still needs to get up there. They definitely need more home runs too. They're very capable of that, and they're slacking off on that. But we'll see. This year is going to be. I think it's going to be a challenging year. I think a lot of the other teams in our division are going to give us a run for the money. But I think we're going to have a good year. Really do.
The Cubs went out and spent a boatload of money. They're going to be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, at least the Pirates did that. They spent more money than they probably spent more money this year than they spent in the last 10 years put together, getting free agents or what have you.
The team that I think is going to step back, and I'm just not quite sure what they're doing. I haven't. Usually they run a pretty good franchise, but the last 2 years I just have been scratching my head about what the Cardinals are doing. I don't know where they're coming from with some of the moves that they've made, and that's very unlike the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, the St. Louis Cardinals are better organization than what they're showing right now.
Right.
And it's just a shame. Okay, George, I thank you very much, sir. I want to thank you for taking my call. And if I don't get to talk to you, all your listeners, have a happy Easter. And please be safe and have a good weekend.
All right. Thank you for the call. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye now.
And let's move on. Get another call in here before the top of the hour. Hello, you're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George.
Good morning.
Robert Haas did pass away.
Ray Heiss? Ray Heiss. That's the guy they were asking about. Ray Heiss. Yeah.
Well, it's spelled here in the paper, Haas.
And that's not the guy.
Oh.
Yeah, the guy that they're talking about is Ray Heiss, and his last name is spelled Hice.
Oh, okay. I'm wrong.
So
there.
I don't know what's going on, but that's definitely not Ray Heiss. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. As I said, if anybody's listening out in Perryopolis, Fraser area, let me know if indeed Ray Heiss did pass away. But the name you're mentioning in the paper is not Ray Heiss. That's not the guy that they're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because his first name that's in the Courier is Robert.
Yeah.
So I was wrong about that. And
okay. And anything else?
Oh, just that. Did you happen to catch the Pirates game last night? Just the minor league players.
No,
Detroit's minor league players.
I did not catch the game because I was watching March Madness.
Yeah, but I watched a good bit of it, and I'm really impressed with some of their young players that you've never heard of. I mean, a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-old kids.
Well, I did see a clip, and the one Tiger player was at the plate, and Seth Hernandez, who was one of their top picks, was on the mound for the Pirates, and the guy had an amazed look on his face because the radar gun said that Hernandez threw a pitch 102.4 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was impressive. Yeah. And
that's bringing some gas.
Yeah. They had Connor Griffin was playing with the
kids,
all minor league type players.
Yeah, right.
So I think that's got to be him. He's not starting the season.
Well, I think it, and I agree with Tom Holliday, who's been on my show, and Tom certainly knows more baseball than I do. And plus, he had his grandson to go through it. I agree with Tom that that's not enough at bats, about 400. He needs to start the season in AAA. That's Tom's feeling, and I agree with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that's kind of an indication.
Right. Well, listen, thank you very much for the call, and thank you for telling me about that guy, but that's definitely not the guy they're talking about.
I'm sorry
well, I'm glad you
misread
told
that.
us. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you,
Take
George.
care. Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend. Thank you.
And that wraps up hour number 1 of the Sports Line. Stick around. We've got another full hour of sports talk coming up after the latest news here at the top of the hour. And we have a guest in hour number 2, the draft. The NFL draft is coming up in Pittsburgh, and that is April 23rd through the 25th. And my good friend, Bill Werndell, out of the Philly area, who was one of the founding folks for Our Lad's Guide to the NFL Draft, one of the first publications of its kind focusing on the draft. Bill Werndell will join me at 11:30. We'll talk NFL free agency and the NFL draft. That's coming up in hour number 2. Sportsline being brought to you this morning by my friend Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out, enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. The news is coming your way next from the CBS Radio Network, right here on your local station, 590 AM and 101.1 FM, WMBS, Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Allison Keys. Israel's defense minister says there will be a surge in attacks against Iran amid the war, though President Trump says he's thinking about winding down military operations as the U.S. is close to achieving its goals. CBS's Charlie D'Agata.
In 3 weeks of fighting, officials say there have been more than 8,000 combat flights, roughly 7,800 targets hit, including 120 Iranian vessels. But that hasn't deterred Iran from launching a wave of attacks on energy infrastructure across Gulf states, targeting oil refineries and gas facilities, leaving countries worldwide facing rising prices and the prospect of having to reduce consumption.
But that war is causing increasing concerns over threats around the world. CBS News national security contributor Samantha Vinograd.
This is certainly not the threat environment that we want to be hearing about as spring break is unfolding. The Iranian regime, over the course of its history, has funded, directed, and trained proxies all around the world that have hit back at Americans. That has included bombings, kidnapping, hijacking planes, and more.
Hawaii is dealing with its worst flooding in 20 years, and forecasters say it will get worse. CBS News meteorologist John Elliott.
Over 4 feet of rain since last weekend. It's been day after day, 12 inches of rain in just the last 24 hours. So it's not only coverage, but it's also those rainfall rates.
Hope you've got a movie on your phone if you're flying this weekend amid an ongoing shortage of TSA agents who aren't getting paid during a partial government shutdown. CBS's Meg Oliver.
According to the TSA, more than 20% of workers called out at a half dozen airports this week, leaving passengers in several cities waiting anywhere from 45 minutes to more than 3 hours to get through security.
I'm going to go back to the airline to see if they can pull my luggage.
Doctors are warning that vaccine hesitancy is spilling over into other routine procedures, including recommended care for babies. A recent study finds that refusal of vitamin K shots is up sharply between 2017 and 2024. Vitamin K can help prevent possibly deadly bleeding. BTS is back with a massive concert after a 4-year break. The BBC's Yuna Koo.
Over 4
For 1 hour, the Heart of Seoul was transformed into a massive open-air concert hall. The crowd began screaming and chanting the 7 members' names just minutes before the show, which bursted into excitement when they performed the first track of their new album.
That album sold more than 4 million copies in just one day. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Route 21 Furniture. Take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture. Take the road to your perfect home.
Of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
Is now against a heartless set of people.
According to U.S. Attorney Daniel Rosen's office, 5 people have pleaded guilty to wire fraud and stealing over $14.5 million in federal child nutrition program money that was meant to feed hungry children during the COVID pandemic. The 5 were among a group that was set to go to trial next month. One defendant remains in the trial and another is set for a change of plea hearing next week, according to the U.S. Attorney's office. Prosecutors have obtained 63 convictions scheme-wide. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
There's proof that there's still kindness out there in the nation. A woman in North Texas sparked a community effort to help an elderly veteran in need after she saw him on her Ring doorbell delivering a pizza at 10:30 p.m. She thought, a 76-year-old man wearing a veteran's cap shouldn't have to do that. So she got on social media, found out that Larry Philip Coleman was delivering food over huge healthcare costs for his family, and started an online donation fund. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borch Jr.
Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in.
It's Dominic Carbone with Jessica Caringla with your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Truck Month is on the horizon, and we're kicking this thing off with a bang. Running all the way to the end of March, and we're talking massive savings.
How massive?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Take up to $8,000 off select F-150s or $6,000 off with interest rates at 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and only 4.9 for 84 months.
And that's not all. We got deals on Super Duties, Mavericks, and Rangers. Just stop, click, or call for details. Here at Ford of Uniontown, our commitment is to make sure you have the best experience, not only buying a vehicle, but getting it serviced as well. That's why we offer online maintenance appointments and free pickup and delivery.
Your truck knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee. 724-425-5980 or FordofUniontown.com.
Price excludes taxes and transfer fees, must finance with Ford Credit, and not all buyers will qualify.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Don't rely on luck when it comes to your tax return. Hot days are on the way. Time to swap out that old air conditioner and stay cool all season long. Turning your tax return into an HVAC upgrade is a very smart move. As we spring ahead into summer heat, don't let your tax return sit idle. Invest in a home comfort system and enjoy comfort and savings for years to come. Our partnership with Amana means you can enjoy top-of-the-line quality and unbeatable efficiency. Not yet ready to replace? Remember to schedule a clean and tune-up for efficiency and longevity. Don't forget about those dirty ducts. Easy Air Professional Duct Cleaning will get the job done right with improved air quality and energy savings. Contact us today at 724-438-4575 for a free consultation to maximize your tax return, then enjoy a comfortable, healthy, and cool spring and summer.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Spring flowers are right around the corner, and so is prom season at Patty's Bridal. We have a prom sale you won't want to miss. All prom dresses are 50% off. That's right, not 10 or 20%, 50%. Every single prom dress at Patty's, located at the Uniontown Mall, is marked down now. Don't wait, as they will go fast. Find the dress that will make your prom night magical at Patty's Bridal, open daily from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. or call at 724-439-1168.
Warm weather means you'll be spending more time outside. So enjoy your deck or patio with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturer and customers guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Call Lifetime Awnings 724-554-6067 or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Your local station, WMBS.
Welcome back on board for hour number 2 of the Sportsline, being brought to you this morning by my good friend Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out, enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko with you as we forge ahead into our second hour. And we continue in the open line mode. Your chance to get up on that soapbox and be heard. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. If you had some problems getting through in hour number 1, well, it is a great time to jump into the sports talk right now. I am gazing at a wide open board. Do come ahead with your questions and your comments. All you have to do is pick up the phone and dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. That's the number to call, 724-438-4593. And we've got a wide open board. You should have no problems getting through anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. We've had a lot of baseball talk about the upcoming Pirate season in hour number 1. Some NCAA March Madness talk, some Penguins talk. Haven't really gotten into the NFL draft or free agency. The NFL draft is just around the corner, and I have a guest coming up at the bottom of the hour, Bill Werndell. That's fair game as well. So whatever you would like to get into, we will talk about it. So pick up the phone, call us at the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. The ballot for the Fayette County Sports Hall of Fame is being put together as we speak. And if you're a member of the Hall of Fame, you'll be getting a ballot to vote in the mail very shortly, within the next week or so. So keep an eye out for that and vote as we get set to put this year's class of the Fayette County Sports Hall of Fame together. The meetings to put the ballot together occurred last Thursday, and I'm doing bullet points and everything for the ballot right now, and we'll send the ballots out probably at the end of next week. So if you're a member of the Hall of Fame, keep an eye out for that. If you're not a member, well, join so you can vote for the upcoming class in the Fayette County Sports Hall of Fame. All right, lines continue to be silent. Don't leave me hanging, folks. Love to hear from you. Great time to call 724-438-4593. That is the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. And we have a guest coming up at the bottom of the hour. Bill Werndell will be checking in from the Philly area. Bill, longtime talk show host in Philly and also in San Diego. But way back in the day when it was just a cottage industry, he was one of the people who started Our Lad's Guide to the NFL Draft, one of the first publications of its kind that focused on the NFL Draft. And he'll be joining me at 11:30. Let's go to the phone lines, take our first phone call here in hour number 2. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Hey there, George. It's been a while. How you been?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay. Pretty excited, I guess. Well, maybe that's overstating it. About the baseball season starting. I'm a baseball fan. I enjoy the game a lot.
Well, and, I guess you would call me cautiously optimistic,
yeah.
with an emphasis on the caution. Yeah.
Yeah, well put. You know, the thing about the Pirates is, I mean, I used to go to 4 or 5 games a year, me and my girl, and 2019 was the last time I was down there. Wow. After the pandemic set in and everything like that, and then after the pandemic cleared up a little bit and the teams they were fielding, I just couldn't see spending the money and taking the time to go down there to watch it. As much as I enjoy a live game, and it's good entertainment, you know, it really is. But
well, do you think you're going to venture to the ballpark this year to give them a chance?
Well, I think I just might sneak down there a couple of times just to see what's going on. We'll give it a little bit of time to see what's, how things look. But, you know, I'm looking forward to it, and here's why, George. Are they going to win, you know, championships? No. You know, are they going to – the thing is, they're at least now, I think, this year with everything that they have to put out there, they're going to be interesting to watch, you know. They're going to be somewhat competitive compared to the last several years where, you know, they were just falling on their face all over the place, you know what I mean? And that new I really like that new manager they have too, you know.
Donnie Kelly, Mount Lebanon native, Neil Walker's brother-in-law.
Yeah, you know, there's just something about that just gels Pittsburgh, you know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it, you know. You know, these past handful of years, I would turn the radio on to listen to the games or turn them on the TV and, you know, fall asleep on the couch about the 5th inning or something like that. But now I think they're going to be somewhat competitive, and it's going to be they're going to be more interesting to watch now. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm really looking forward to it.
Well,
as much as I like baseball on top of it, you know.
I hope you're right, and I love baseball too. Although the game, the people that run baseball do, just drives me crazy because the game has some inherent problems, and they're not correcting them.
Right.
They just aren't. Some of the things that they do drive me crazy, and unfortunately, I think we may be headed for a work stoppage next year.
Yeah, I know, and that's kind of it's been a long time since that happened, and that's you know, that's going to be hard to take for us baseball fans, that's for sure. But you know,
well, it'll be hard to take if they don't do anything to fix some of their problems. If they take what happens and try to fix some of the problems, then I won't mind it as much. But there's no guarantee they'll do that. I think that there's just too much of a gap between the haves and the have-nots in baseball. And the revenue sharing is not getting it done. Some of these teams have massive TV contracts. The regional sports network idea has failed miserably, and now you've got some teams that are struggling to get their games on television. There's a lot of things that need to be addressed. And I realize we will never, ever get a salary cap. I've said it a long time ago that there will be peace in the Middle East before there's a salary cap in baseball. But there's no reason why you can't put a salary floor in and make some of these teams spend money on their product.
Right. Yeah, the problems with Major League Baseball, I think most people would think that all those problems are going to have to be solved sooner or later. I mean, it just can't go on and go on and go on, and you're going to have billion-dollar contracts and stuff like that. It amazes me how I listen to other sports talk shows too and stuff like that, and commentators get on there and they're nonchalantly talking about, oh, well, we can give him $20 million this year and $15 million next year. And, these contracts are so outrageous, and they have been for years and years and years and years. And I know it's all what the market allows for and so forth and so on. But, when players are being signed to $400-500 million contracts over, 10 years or 12 years or whatever it is and stuff. That's why I go to a ball game and it costs me, it costs me $15 for a 12-ounce can of beer or something like that. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sooner or later, the fans, I don't know, they're going to have to get disgusted with stuff like that. $12 hot dogs and stuff like that. I mean,
what has happened is I always felt, and maybe from a ticket price standpoint, it still is. Baseball is still the best bargain of the major sports in town.
Yeah.
Because, I just went to a hockey game not too long ago. You got to pay an arm and a leg if you're going to take a family to a hockey game.
Yeah. Right.
And everything. Plus the situation around the arena is a mess with parking and with they've taken all the street parking away. They're making you pay the premium price to park around PPG Paints Arena. And the Steeler games have been pricey for a while now. So from a ticket standpoint, it's still, but if you're going to buy something at the ballpark, just like any other place, you're going to spend a lot of money.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's not like it used to be. And it never really is. I don't want to sound like some old geezer that, oh, well, back in the day. But, I do remember going to the old Civic Arena and you could get a real nice seat down by the ice for $22.50.
I remember sitting in Section D, which was up, and you were buying a ticket for $5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I didn't mind sitting high at a hockey game because you see the ice better. But I remember so many other things. So my parents, we were poor, not poor, but, we weren't the greatest shape financially. My dad worked in the mines and everything, and my mother had to work at a job. And it was a treat to be able to go to the ballpark. But I do remember what we did. We didn't buy, we bought a Coke or something at the ballpark, but they brought sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do that now.
Yeah, but that's what they did. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember years and years ago going to a Steeler game at Three Rivers Stadium and being able to take in, it was real cold. They played the Kansas City Chiefs. It was real cold. And I took in some tomato soup in a thermos and some sandwiches and stuff like that. You could do that back then. Now, we're talking probably 80s, late 80s.
You can't take any of that stuff in. I don't think you can take any kind of food in now.
I don't think you can either. Yeah. I don't even think you can take a bottle of water in unless you sneak it in somehow or something like that. Yeah.
But I remember mom always packed a little bag with or sandwiches in it, and and mom's sandwiches were always good, so I didn't mind it.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to baseball, so I can't wait. I'm like Chuck, I can't wait, and we'll see what happens. The first 2 or 3 weeks is going to tell a little bit of the story, but the first couple months is going to really tell the big story as to where we're at. I'm not expecting miracles, but I'm a little excited because I think at least they're going to be somewhat competitive and at least interesting to watch. With that pitching staff they have, I think they always are going to have a chance, George. They're always going to have a chance.
Well, they broke
their hitters better wake up.
Well, they broke a cardinal rule of baseball with those young pitchers over the last haul here. Chuck Tanner used to tell me time and time again, you never waste good pitching, and they just couldn't score enough. Now they've improved offensively a little bit. Is it going to be enough of an improvement? Time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about that young pitcher that they started just the other night in that rookie game?
Seth Hernandez.
Yeah,
he was a number one pick. He's out of high school. He was the Pirates' top pick, and I guess they showed some video of one of the Tiger hitters, and he was amazed when he saw the clock or the clocked him at 102.4 miles an hour for one pitch.
Yeah, ain't that something?
Yeah.
Well, he better be careful he doesn't throw his arm off. You know what I mean? But that's another one coming up that we can look forward to as long as he lasts. That's a good sign.
He's got a little seasoning to get because they took him.
Oh, yeah.
They took him right out of high school. He wasn't a college pitcher.
Now, where's he from, George? Do you know?
I think he's from Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, good thing.
Well, thank you for checking in. Good to hear from you.
Yeah. We'll be watching the Pirates together, huh?
Yep. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. And that frees up both of our phone lines as we move down the home stretch here, heading to our guest at the bottom of the hour, Bill Werndell, formerly of Our Lad's Guide to the NFL Draft, longtime Philadelphia and San Diego talk show host. He will join me for some NFL draft talk and NFL free agency talk at the bottom of the hour. Still time to get in another call if you so choose. Pick up the phone. Dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. That number, 724-438-4593. Once again, 724-438-4593. I was looking over some of the games that are on tap in the NCAA tournament today, and there's a couple that I am going to be watching with much interest. Just because it's Jamie Dixon, I'll be watching Duke and TCU. St. John's and Kansas should be interesting. Texas A&M and Houston. I really love Jared Calhoun's Utah State team. That's going to be on Sunday. The Michigan-St. Louis game when they play is going to be interesting because Michigan, I think, has a pretty good path through the Midwest regional. But that St. Louis Billikens team, what an offense they have, and what they did to Georgia the other night was absolutely they just obliterated them. But those are some of the games that I'll be watching with much interest. Louisville and Michigan State could be interesting as well. Anyway, let's get a break in. When we come back on this edition of the Sportsline, NFL Draft Talk, NFL Free Agency Talk with my good friend Bill Werndell coming up right after this.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
Hi, come on in. How are you?
For personal, professional health care you can trust, see Dr. Paul Hartley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris, proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org. Or
serving number 3,940.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Chris Parker Jr., it's spring and everything's turning green.
Here at Autoland, our customers are saving green during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and 0% financing.
I'm listening.
Get 0% financing for up to 60 months on a new 2026 Santa Fe with standard third-row seating or up to $3,500 HMF bonus cash. The 2026 all-wheel drive Tucson also has 0% financing for up to 60 months or HMF lease cash up to $5,500. Just see us for details and ask about no payments due for 90 days.
Can you tell me more about your leasing specials?
We have great lease event specials going on now, such as a 26 Kona SE crossover for $219 per month and a 26 Elantra SE with amazing fuel economy for $199 per month. Just see us for details.
Plus Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection, 5-year unlimited miles roadside assistance. Autoland Hyundai, 25 East Fayette Street, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website, AutolandHyundai.com.
And remember, you'll always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
NovaCare Rehabilitation in Uniontown is accessible for all of your recovery needs. New at NovaCare is pelvic floor physical therapy, a specialized program to treat patients with pelvic floor dysfunction related to bladder, bowel, sexual function, and pregnancy postpartum. These issues can affect both women and men and include urinary frequency, urgency and incontinence, pelvic pain, constipation, IBS, menopause, painful periods, and more. Call 724-437-0556 for an appointment in Uniontown. Personalize your care with NovaCare. In 1986, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville was started with a promise to provide clients with truthful, friendly, and courteous service. It worked. With an expanded client base, the Firestone Insurance Agency's customers are now able to choose from over 20 well-known insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
Are delinquent credit cards, medical bills, and personal loans stressing you out? Are you unable to catch up? Are the debt collection calls just too much? If yes, then call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200. Zebley Law provides free in-person consultations. Then, using our decades of experience, we recommend a plan for relief. Before hiring a debt relief company or an out-of-town bankruptcy firm, call the local law firm serving Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties since 2001. Call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200.
Hi, this is Pirates broadcaster Greg Brown, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And welcome back to the Sportsline on this Saturday morning. The NFL draft is looming on the horizon, April 23rd through the 25th, right here in Pittsburgh. The Steelers' offseason so far has been a very interesting one. They've been very active in free agency. They continue to be the past 2 days along the offensive line. They're going to have 12 picks right now as it stands in the upcoming draft. And here to talk NFL draft and free agency with me, back in the day when it was just a cottage industry, there was a book that came out, one of the first of its kind, called Our Lad's Guide to the NFL Draft. This guy was part of that, Our Lad's Guide to the NFL Draft. Long-time talk show host in Philadelphia and in San Diego, now back in the Philly area. I'm talking about my good friend, Bill Werndell. Billy, how are you this morning?
George, I'm doing great. Whenever I'm on with you, the Count of Western Pennsylvania, I'm very happy.
Well, as I mentioned, it's been an interesting offseason for the Steelers. They have been extremely active in free agency, and I think they've done some things to improve themselves in free agency.
No question about it. The Pittman deal, of course, that wasn't a free agent signing, but they got Pittman opposite DK Metcalf. They'll probably add another receiver somewhere in the draft. I mean, they've done an excellent job. They solidified their secondary. I mean, they have really done a very good job, and only a matter of time when Aaron Rodgers gives Mike McCarthy the heads up whether he's coming back or not. But I think he's coming back for another year.
I do too, and so do most of the beat writers covering the Steelers. And I think that he's going to give him an answer before the draft, which is coming up here in April, which would tell them.
In Pittsburgh, George, in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. I know everybody's going to be coming in town looking for the best pierogies in town. You know. Anyway.
And what about Permani Brothers?
Permani Brothers, get your sandwiches at Permani Brothers, pierogies. There's a lot of ways you can go in Pittsburgh. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I always look for some good halupkis too. You know, stuffed cabbage rolls. You know,
Galupkis, yeah, Galupkis, whatever you want to call them.
Now, the past 2 days, nothing earth-shattering, but more help along the offensive line. They signed Ryan McCullum, who had been with them before. He is a center and he can also play guard, but that is backup insurance. Particularly backup insurance for Zach Frazier at center. And they finally completed the deal that had been rumored for a while, and they signed to a one-year deal. Hoffman from Dallas, the offensive guard.
Brock Hoffman.
Yep.
Brock Hoffman, yep.
Yeah, mm-hmm. The offensive guard from Dallas who played for Mike McCarthy down in Dallas. And so that's aimed at that guard spot where they lost Ciamalo, you know.
Absolutely, George. And you look at the guard position right now in the draft. The best guy is the Vega Ione from Penn State. I mean, he's a road grader out there. 6'5", about 330 pounds, great hands, the whole deal. You get the big package. Now, he's projected to go anywhere from 12 to 19 in that area, but he is a legitimate guard. There are other guys that could move inside at the guard position, one being Blake Miller, the tackle from Clemson. Another kid is Jennings Dunker from Iowa. He has a real offense or a defensive mentality. And another kid, Chase Basutis, out of A&M, Bisontis. They're three guys, and another guy that should be in the mix, not in the first round, but the second or third round, Kalen Rutledge, Georgia Tech, and Emmanuel Fragan from Oregon. So they have a pretty good group of offensive linemen that play tackle, and you could move them inside the guard.
Well, as I said, with those moves that they've made on the offensive line, I was thinking that there was a possibility they might go for an offensive lineman in the first round. That doesn't necessarily preclude that they won't. I have felt all along they would go wide receiver, but is such a class of wide receivers that they don't necessarily have to take a wide receiver in the first round.
No, George, you're absolutely right. There might be 35 wide receivers taken in this draft. And, you got guys, we know about Jordan Tyson out of ASU, Carnell Tate out of Ohio State, Mekhi Lemon out of USC, Denzel Boston, his father played in the NFL, out of Washington, Omar Cooper out of Indiana. I mean, there is a great, great selection. Now, some may go in the first round, but not all of them. Another kid that I kind of like is a kid out of Louisville, Chris Bell, 6'2", 220, who can flat out run. Another kid that I really like is Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame. Great, great hands, big wide receiver. A couple of guys on the diminutive side, Zachariah Branch out of Georgia, a guy that you like a lot, and Deion Burks out of Oklahoma, Both guys are about 5'9", 5'10", but they can be slot receivers as well.
Well, out of the names that you mentioned, I've heard about the kid from USC. I've heard about Boston connected with them. The other guy whose name has popped up an awful lot is the kid from Indiana, and he's a big receiver.
Omar Cooper, 6 feet, 205, a tough kid. You're absolutely right. Omar Cooper would really complement Pittman and DK Metcalf. You look at this draft class of wide receivers, a lot of big wide receivers.
Right. So if they don't go first round for a receiver, they could get one in the second round. So where do they go then?
No question.
I keep on looking and keep on hearing long term. They did sign some people at safety, Savage to 1 year, and they got the kid from the Bears, Brisker, who's a Gateway High School graduate. He's a Pittsburgh kid. But they're looking long term there, and they may go for a safety. What's the safety position look like?
Well, Caleb Downs is the best one, but I understand there could be some questions about him on the medical side. This has not been confirmed. It's just rumors. There's a lot of rumors this time of year. He's out of Ohio State, an outstanding player. Anywhere from 10 to 18 is where I project him to go. The other kid is Dylan Thieneman from the University of Oregon.
He just visited. Yeah,
6 feet, 203. He's really a very, very solid safety. I see him going in the middle of the first round. So there are a good group of safeties. There's another kid, Genesis Smith. He's a good-looking player as well. I mean, the safety position, the two guys that I would go after, George, are Caleb Downs and Thiedemann. But, again, the other talk in the NFL right now, a lot of teams are not looking to move up in the draft. So that means it's going to be more difficult to move down in the draft. Teams want to say, hey, there's not a quarterback other than Mendoza that's worthy of a first-round pick. So clubs are reluctant to move up the draft ladder. So we may see some activity, but I don't think as much activity if there were quarterbacks on the board.
Well, with 12 draft picks, too, the Steelers have some capital they can play with, too,
Absolutely. And, George, I contend you're not going to have all 12 of your draft picks making the roster. So you can use that to move up a couple of spots or even move down a couple of spots and get additional picks. I hate when people say, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round are not important. Mentioned Tom Brady, a 6th-round pick. Puka Nacua, a 5th-round pick. We can go through the litany of players that were drafted late, and they were very solid contributors for a long, long time.
So we've talked about wide receiver or safety in the first round, possibility outside that they would take a lineman in the first round. Now, looking down the road for the Steelers, the other thing to always keep in mind about them, and I think this is going to be very important, they have 3 picks in the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And how about, you mentioned to me yesterday, how about Carson Beck being one of those picks in the 3rd round?
He visited
as a project.
And so did the North Dakota State quarterback visited.
Cole Payton.
And the other quarterback who's been linked to them, and I don't know how you feel about him because I think his stock has gone down because he definitely underperformed the last year. Klubnik from Clemson.
Clemson, yeah. I'm not sold on him, George. I'll be honest with you. I mean, he's been like the Dow Jones Industrial. Another guy who's an intriguing prospect, kid out of Arkansas, Halen Green, very athletic type of quarterback. Now, I'm not taking him in the 1st round, but as a guy that with multiple picks in the 3rd round might be something very intriguing for the Steelers.
I know some people are probably raising their eyebrows. I do not want to see them make the mistake, and there are some people who are pushing this, of taking a quarterback in the first round if it's not Mendoza.
No.
You can't do that. They
already
had one blow up in your face in Kenny Pickett,
Well, again, Ty Simpson has not played that much college football. And in some of the big games, he did not perform at a very high level. Again, Bill Parcells had a theory or a model. Has to play 25 to 30 games in college football. You get a pretty good idea how good the player is. But when you only play 12 games or 13 games, that is not a true barometer. How many Anthony Richardson, Indianapolis can't wait to get rid of him. He only played 12 games, but he was a great athlete, and everybody was oohing and ahhing about him. And there was questions. Only played 12 games in college. Even Mark Sanchez, even though he had a great rookie year with the Jets, he only played 12 games in college. I worry about guys who do not play at least 2 years of college football.
Well, if you're using that as a criteria, and that's a pretty good barometer to look at, the only one who fits that mold for me, now Klubnik played a lot of games, but he's just been too erratic for me. The only one that really fits that mold for me is the guy who visited from Miami of Florida.
And remember, he played at Georgia, too.
And he won a championship.
I mean,
Carson Beck is the only one who fits that mold. Yeah.
And look, he got Miami to the championship game against Indiana. Of course, an ill-advised pass late in the game. But look, this guy has some ability. And again, with the right tutelage and guidance, he can develop into a pretty good pro.
So that's what that looks like. Other positions they may look at. One of the guys who visited I thought was interesting because he only had to walk across the hall. Lewis, the linebacker who could also probably be a safety from Pitt,
And he flashed at the Senior Bowl. He really flashed. A lot of people liked him. Probably a third-day pick, all right? Be honest. Maybe he slips into the second day, but more of a third-day pick. Very intriguing prospect.
Well, I think they like him, and that's somebody that they could they go. And we talked about offensive line. Now, they took 2 defensive linemen last year in Derek Harmon and Black from Iowa. But I think that that defensive line is aging. At some point in the draft, they may go that route as well.
A very, very weak class as far as defensive linemen are concerned. The best right now is Caden McDonald out of Ohio State. Peter Woods had an up-and-down year at Clemson. Caleb Banks has had injuries at Florida. I mean, there's somebody, an intriguing guy. He is a real load. Is Dominique Orange from Iowa State. He's a legitimate nose tackle. One guy that they're oohing and ahhing about is Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech. When I see him play, too many times he gets up too high, and he plays too high for me. He has some talent, but he's a guy that, you got to get him to stay low because at the point of attack. But it's not a great year for defensive linemen. You might be able to find a diamond in the rough in the 3rd or 4th round. Yeah. Another guy is Darnell Jackson out of Florida State, who was projected to go higher, but most people think he'll go in the 3rd or 4th round at best.
And then again, they may have addressed it when they signed that guy from the Titans, the defensive line.
Absolutely. No question about it.
They may have addressed that problem already.
But again, George, you have 12 draft picks. You can go many, many ways, all right? Many ways. Up, down, even sideways if you want to. But no, the 12 draft picks, again, are all 12 draft picks going to make the team? I doubt it. It gives you a lot of flexibility in the draft.
Another interesting guy that visited just yesterday, very, very productive player in college. I'm not sure where he would fit into their draft plans or where he fits into the draft, but I know they like him. That's the linebacker from Texas Tech, Rodriguez.
Oh, he is a guy that wants to play football. He has a desire to play football. He's not an outside guy. He's an inside backer.
Well, that's an area where they might want to look at because Patrick Queen is going to be in the last year of his contract.
Here's the thing with Rodriguez. Rodriguez plays like his hair's on fire. He's all over the field. And remember, he was a finalist for the Ronnie Lott Award. You remember that?
Yep.
He was a finalist for that award. He didn't win it. Bain from Miami won it. But he is a very, very solid football player. And with the kid they drafted out of North Carolina State a few years ago, that would be a pretty good tandem inside.
Right. Where do you think he fits into the draft scheme?
I would say late second, early third round.
So with
probably third round more likely.
Well, with 3 third-round picks, they might take a flyer.
George.
They might take a flyer on him.
Absolutely. I mean, the guy he plays, like I said, with a guy with his hair on fire. And when you see guys like that, that's the type of guys I like. A football player, all right? I don't want to hear all these measurables and this and that. Yeah, you need measurables.
Well,
but I think we go overboard with measurables at times.
Well, your description of him reminds me of the way you described the guy that they drafted out of NC State who's playing for him now, Peyton Wilson.
Yep. I like Peyton Wilson coming out of college. I really did. And he's been a solid contributor for the Steelers, has he not?
Yeah, 2 young guys in the middle of that defense. That's intriguing, isn't it?
Very intriguing. Yeah. Absolutely intriguing.
Yeah, and and they got the kid from Ohio State who's going to play more this year, Jack Sawyer, Captain Jack. They love.
I like Jack Sawyer. I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
He was a steal. They got him later in the draft.
They did. Yeah, yeah.
I thought he would be a second-round pick, and I think he was a fourth-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
That's right, and I like him too, and they like him. And then, of course, they really like the kid from Wisconsin who played really well last year and is going to get more playing time, I think, Nick Herbig. Yeah.
Yep. No. Well, again, you never have enough guys inside or outside. Everybody's looking for that superior speed rusher. You have a great one in T.J. Watt, but everybody's looking for that outside backer. And I think now teams are more focused on getting inside backers because more teams are running the football now, George. It's not 40 passes a game. We want to run the football more.
Right. Running back, they've got Jalen Warren. They signed Dowdle. They lost Kenny Gainwell, and they still have, and I can't figure out what's going on with him, the kid from Iowa.
Caleb Johnson.
Right, and he just got into the doghouse, especially after making that egregious mistake on the kickoff against Seattle that wound up costing them the game. But I don't think they necessarily need to do anything at running back with the people they got.
Yeah. Well, you could always add somebody, all right?
Yeah.
You can always add somebody. They're not going to get a Jeremiah Love, who's probably a top 5 pick in the draft, I think. But there's guys like, how about Katron Allen out of Penn State, be an intriguing guy to bring in here. And they've always had success with Penn State players with the Steelers, have they not?
They have, yeah. You mentioned Love. He's not getting a lot of love sometimes from some people in the draft. I really like that kid. I think that kid can play.
George,
he
he's
can play.
Prime time.
Yeah.
Prime time. You put him with a good young quarterback, and you got a very, very solid core there that can make things happen. And he's a good pass receiver out of the backfield as well. And he can flat out run.
So as we wrap things up, swinging our attention back to what has happened in free agency, I was a little dumbfounded. I saw a report from one of the news organizations saying they thought the Steelers did really, really well. Then Fox Sports comes out and said they did the worst job of any team in the division, and I don't understand that at all.
George, believe me, the Steelers have done an admirable job. I mean, you look at the Steelers now compared to last year. They have a legitimate number 2 receiver opposite DK Metcalf. They addressed in the secondary. They still have Jalen Ramsey. I mean, Brisker I like as a safety. I mean, I don't understand when people say, "Oh, they did a horrible job."
Well, if I look at the other teams, what did they do in our division? Baltimore lost 4 starters.
Cleveland Browns can get federal funds if they apply quick enough.
Yeah.
All right.
And Baltimore lost 4 starters.
Right. And Cincinnati, everybody says, is Joe Burrow going to be the quarterback when he comes back? We hope so. But they need so much help on the defensive side of the ball.
And they let Trey Hendrickson go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they need a lot of help there.
Right. So, in any case, always fun to chat. It's great catching up with you and talking NFL draft and free agency. Thank you again, Bill, for your time this morning.
George, you always give me time anytime I ring you up, anytime for the Count of Western Pennsylvania. That's your new name, the Count of Western Pennsylvania. How about that?
Okay, Billy, you take care.
All right, thanks, George. Bye-bye.
We'll talk to you soon. Bill Werndell with some great NFL draft talk and free agency talk. We will wrap things up here on the Sports Line right after this timeout.
Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in.
It's Dominic Carbone with Jessica Caringla with your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Truck Month is on the horizon, and we're kicking this thing off with a bang. Running all the way to the end of March, and we're talking massive savings.
How massive?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Take up to $8,000 off select F-150s or $6,000 off with interest rates at 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and only 4.9 for 84 months.
And that's not all. We got deals on Super Duties, Mavericks, and Rangers. Just stop, click, or call for details. Here at Ford of Uniontown, our commitment is to make sure you have the best experience, not only buying a vehicle, but getting it serviced as well. That's why we offer online maintenance appointments and free pickup and delivery.
Your truck knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee. 724-425-5980 or FordofUniontown.com.
Price excludes taxes and transfer fees, must finance with Ford Credit, and not all buyers will qualify.
Get ready, there's a new Italian favorite at Live Casino. Introducing Mangia, featuring DeLallo, opening April 9th. Part market, part cafe, Mangia offers delicious, quick-served, authentic Italian cuisine made with the finest ingredients. Featuring pasta, hoagies, pizza, salads, gelato, cocktails, espresso, and a retail shop featuring DeLallo brand favorites. Mangia, featuring DeLallo, opening April 9th at Live Casino, Route 30 at Westmoreland Mall. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for a fireplace? Koval Building Supply at 40 Monroe Avenue in Uniontown is more than your plumbing supply store. We specialize in fireplaces of all fuel types, such as gas, wood, pellet, and electric. We're now featuring Harmon pellet stoves from Forge and Flame, perfect for keeping your family warm and cozy. Call Koval today at 724-437-8824 or visit kovalsupply.com to start planning for the winter season. Koval Building Supply, everything you need to make your house feel like home.
Trust, it's the place I go. Home Warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
March brings spring and home improvement season. Planning a home improvement project with your tax refund? Home Warehouse, a Best in Fayette winner for home improvements and windows, is the place to go for all your home exterior needs. Warm weather means more outdoor living. Add value to your home with a new deck. Home Warehouse has a great selection of easy-to-maintain composite decking and vinyl railing, plus siding, shutters, windows and doors, roofing shingles, metal and rubber roofing, soffit and fascia, as well as flooring. So for selection, great prices, and hometown service, see Sandy and Donnie at Home Warehouse, Connellsville Street in Uniontown. They know how to make your house a happy home. Shop Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, Saturday, 8 to noon.
Home Warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Looking for a great place to eat in Uniontown? Stop by Casey's Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue and proudly owned by the Vernon family. Casey's is open Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday through Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come check out their new items and delicious entrees. And remember, Casey's can cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126.
Hi, this is Pat Narduzzi from the University of Pittsburgh, and you're listening to The Sports Line with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And welcome back to the Sports Line. Almost out of time. Hope you enjoyed the NFL draft talk and NFL free agency talk with my good friend Bill Werndell from the Philadelphia area. Back in the day when it was just a cottage industry starting out, he was on the cutting edge with Our Lad's Guide to the NFL Draft, and always has great information about the draft and free agency, and always enjoy the conversation with him. That brings us to the end of the Sports Line. Next week, I'm hoping for college basketball talk. I usually get my good friend Dan Bonner from CBS Sports on, and we're going to effort him. He'll be doing some games somewhere next week, but hopefully I'll be able to get Dan Bonner from CBS Sports on next week for some great college basketball talk. That puts a capper on this edition of the Sports Line. Sports Line being brought to you this morning by my good friend Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue, offering good, affordable food with pickup and delivery options. Also, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management, serving lunches and dinners Monday through Saturday. Phone 724-439-2150 for Bogies Restaurant at Duck Hollow Golf Course, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown.